please rise for the singing of our national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It is my privilege to be able to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Carrie Wright, State Superintendent of Education, Mississippi Department of Education. Dr. Carrie Wright became the State Superintendent of Education for Mississippi in 2013. Under her leadership, Mississippi has initiated aggressive education reforms that have increased literacy skills in pre-K through the third grade, pushed student achievement on the National Assessment of Educational Progress to improve at a faster rate than most other states, and increased the graduation rate to an all-time high of 83%. Dr. Wright spearheaded initiatives in Mississippi that nearly doubled the advanced placement participation and success rate, resulted in significant annual gains in English language arts and mathematics proficiency, and earned Mississippi recognition from the National Institute for Early Education Research as one of only 5 states in the nation that meet most quality standards for early childhood education. Dr. Wright is also past president of the Board of Directors of the Council of Chief State School Officers for 2017-2018 and is a member of Chiefs for Change. I now introduce Dr. Carrie Wright.
Well, good morning. It is indeed a pleasure to be here again. This is the second year in a row that I've had the pleasure of coming to this area of the state and recognizing Union County Schools for achieving another A rating. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that today and why that is so incredibly special and how proud you should be. Union County is only one of 14 districts out of 144 that have earned this award more than 1 year. So that is significant in of itself. In fact, that puts you in the top 10% of the state of Mississippi. So that is indeed a lot to be proud of. You know, people ask us a lot about how we give grades, our district grades, our school grades, and the important part about that is that it gives us an opportunity to let our districts and our families and our communities know whether their schools are really doing exactly what we want them to be doing, which is doing the good job of educating all these fine children that are sitting in front of us. So when your district earns an A, it lets you know that you are among the very best in the state. And it's not easy to earn an A. How many students would agree with that, right? Exactly, yeah, I see all the hands in the air. That's exactly right. It's not easy. So you know how hard it is and how much work you've got to do. So when we get ready to award grades, there's a lot of factors that we take into consideration, and we look at each one of those as we look at every single district. We look to see how well you've done, obviously, on your state tests, but we also look to see, are you growing from year to year? Are students growing from one year to the next? And then we look at our high schools and we say, well, are they graduating children on time? So those are all parts of what we look at. But I think the most important thing that, to me, as a state superintendent, that we look at, every single student is considered. And I think that's a very important part. We literally drill down to individual students. So it's not just some students, it's not just those students, it's not some students at a certain zip code, it's every single student. And then we say, are schools and districts working with those who are struggling? Are they working with those who need more challenges, such as advanced placement classes or dual credit, dual enrollment? So all of those factors are taken into consideration before a grade is awarded. So you can take great pride in knowing that when you got this A, your district excelled in every single thing that we looked at, whether they're in a school or whether they're serving at the district level. That's a lot of hard work. So having been a principal before and having been a teacher before, I can tell you that if I was a principal or a teacher in Union County, I'd make sure that everybody knew that I had a little piece of that contribution of that A and be proud of it. I think that there's a few other things that I found out in looking at some data on Union County that you may or may not know. Your superintendent mentioned the first one. For the second year in a row, you have moved your rank, and your rank is now number 9 in the state. That's 144 districts, and yours is number 9. That is a lot to be proud of. Your math and ELA growth, remember I told you we look to see if children are growing? Your growth rate was over 70%. That is huge growth in just 1 year. And I've been told that the students that are sitting here, I don't know if our audience knows that as well, that the students that are sitting here earned a perfect score on the statewide assessments, either in English language arts or mathematics or both. So let me also take a minute to tell you that is not easy. This is the most rigorous test that the state of Mississippi has ever administered. It's aligned to our state standards. Your teachers are obviously doing an outstanding job of teaching to those standards because you can't really teach to this test. It's really a measure of did you learn what you needed to know in that given year. So hats off to teachers, administrators, and staff members. In fact, 3 out of the 4 schools in your district were ranked in the top 5 schools for English 2. Now, we have well over 200, closer to 300 high schools. Let me repeat that. 3 of your 4 schools were ranked in the top 5 out of that many schools for English 2. So there's something awfully good going on here. And that's the one thing that I've noticed as I've traveled through the district. You can feel the enthusiasm. You can feel the excitement. You can feel exactly what's happening. You know what's happening because it's not just the data that shows it, it's also what you see in children's faces and when you talk to teachers and administrators. This is nothing short of spectacular. I mean, I just need you to keep thinking about those words. It's spectacular what's happening. So when I was serving this past year as president of the Council of Chief State School Officers, so it's all of those of us that are state chiefs, I got the privilege of traveling around the country and talking about what's happening here in Mississippi. And people were saying to me, what is happening? How is this possible? How is this possible that year after year after year, you are making these kinds of gains? And I'll tell you what I tell them. I tell them the same thing. Number 1, we have some of the most amazing students that we could ever be blessed to have, that are capable of achieving anything that anybody else is capable of achieving in this nation and in this world. And number 2, I tell them, we have the most outstanding teachers and leaders in our state who come in every day to do the best that they can for our children. And that's what's happening in Mississippi. So you are Mississippi's history. It's not just happening, it's happening in a very spectacular way because of your work. And so let me tell you something else I'm going to tell all of you that I've been saying over and over again. Don't let one more person say to you, Mississippi's at the bottom. Because Mississippi's not at the bottom. Mississippi's not at the bottom anymore. And we can take great pride in knowing that. Trust me, my colleagues are saying, we've got to start keeping pace with Mississippi because the growth that you are experiencing, we are outpacing other states in the nation because of your growth. So we are not at the bottom anymore. And you can take pride in that because that's something that you have done and that's something that you have accomplished. So I want to say keep up the good work. And I also want to recognize you. We've got an award that we want to pass on to your superintendent. So on behalf of the State Board of Education and on behalf of the Department of Education, I want to say congratulations to the Union County School District, and I want to say you are blessed to have this man as your superintendent. He is very spectacular. He continues to demonstrate that on a daily basis, and I'm proud to call him a colleague. So how about a round of applause for your superintendent? So this award is given, it's got the district's name engraved on it, a big A, something that you can be very proud of, and I look forward to coming back again next year.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy with Hill Country Network, and today I am in Houston, Mississippi at their open house, Christmas open house for the holidays. There's a lot of people here and we're really excited to be here. We're going to be showing you some of the shops and just what Houston, Mississippi has to offer you. Hi everyone, I am with Mr. J.B. Griffith, and he is known as the Southern Piper, and he was playing bagpipes today here in Houston. So tell us how you, did you live in Scotland?
No, I
No.
never lived there. My family is from there, but I was born and raised right here in Mississippi.
Right here in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get interested in doing what you do, and how long have you been playing?
I got interested in it watching some of the military funerals where they had a piper playing, and the sound just touched my soul. You know, it's just something I wanted to do. And on one of my trips to Scotland, I actually bought a set of bagpipes and thought I could learn to play them pretty easily, but it's a very difficult instrument to play. It's very physical instrument, and I don't know of anybody who claims to be real proficient. We're all still learning.
Yeah. Well, you sounded proficient.
Oh, I've been playing a number of years, but still learning. So.
Well, you were great. It was beautiful, beautiful music, and it's such a great thing that you came here to be here in Houston today.
Yeah, this is quite a turnout. I wasn't expecting this many people, but I mean, there are a lot of people here, big crowd.
There is. It's been nice.
Yeah, it has.
Well, and you play for weddings, funerals, and events, so I know you're busy. You're a busy piper.
Yeah, thankfully I get to play a lot.
Good. And if someone wanted to get in touch with you, do you have a way for them to do that?
Yeah, I have a website. It's southernpiper.com,
Okay.
and that's the easiest way to contact me. It's just on the website.
Okay. All right. Well, I encourage everyone to go to the website and visit that because it's really good. Okay. Thank you for talking with us today,
you so much.
and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Hey, how are you? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Did you say only one left? There's that bell one. Sticking one of those.
Ready for Christmas? Houston today, and an author, and named Daryl Williams. Come over here, Daryl. And he is so interesting, and I just wanted to share this with you. So, would you like to come and have a seat, or do you want to stand?
I can stand or whatever you want.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got started writing, where you're from, a little of your background.
I was in the construction business for about 30 years, and I guess probably long before that, about the 8th grade, I decided, I really would like to write, but you know how life gets in the way. It just, you get sidetracked. And so, busy raising family and doing this and that. And when I retired from the construction business, I decided I'm going to do this. I wrote my first novel. It's a thriller. It's not really a political thriller, but it's about a crooked politician. Imagine that, a crooked politician. Yes. And so I wrote this story, and I had 4 publishing offers, and I just had the luxury of choosing the one I wanted. And so I have a very good publisher, and the publisher, told me she wanted me to write not a sequel, but she wants me to write a series of these characters. She seems to think that my characters are very strong. In fact, I've gotten a lot of good reviews. You can look it up on Amazon, and I've gotten a lot of good reviews on it about the strong characters and that sort of thing. And so she wanted me to do this and make a complete series out of it. So here I am working on the second one.
Wow. Now, when did your first one come out?
My first one was June of 17, last year, June a year ago. And,
The characters that you have are, did you get that from life experiences, some of those personalities, or are they all just created?
well, you know, any good writing coach will tell you to write about what you know. And of course, it may not be about a particular person that you're thinking about when you when you create a character, but it may be drawn from several different people. And yeah, we write about things that happened to us and people that we knew along the way. Yes, that's certainly what we do. Yeah.
Can you tell us, like, where it starts, or a little bit about what's going on, or what time period that it falls in?
My story takes place in 1963. It's really it's a thriller, but it's really a story about just how far a man would go and just what he would risk to save a dying friend. Joe Carter is dying of cancer. There's no cure for his ailment, and he's going to die. He knows it. He's losing his business, losing his home, losing everything. To make matters worse, his wife is going to be homeless after he's gone. They have no children, and so he calls his old friend David Squire, and David Squire is a private investigator. Calls him down, and from Chicago, and talks to him, and David gets on to through a happenstance. He just gets on to a money trail, a dirty money trail. And you know now where it's going, right? It's going to Washington now, and it's just a fast-paced thriller with a lot of all the elements of hard fiction in it, and greed, the whole works. Murder of the innocent.
Something about politicians?
Yes, it's got a crooked politician. Yeah, imagine that, huh? A crooked politician. But anyway, it's got all that stuff in it. And
What's the name?
The Last Friend.
The Last Friend.
Yes, you can look it up on Amazon and buy it at bookstores everywhere.
Thank you so much for stopping by and letting us know that. And you can see a longer interview with Mr. Williams on Hill Country Network. So look for that, because it's going to be very interesting. And look for his book. It might be a really good gift for the holidays. Thank you again for talking with me. Thank you. And I'm Cindy for Hill Country Network. It wouldn't be the holidays without Santa.
We gonna be good, okay? I'll see you later. Merry Christmas.
Come on, this way.
Oh, now she's gonna take what she wants.
All right, put the vacuum cleaner in the ball game.
All right.
And the
Be good.
Okay.
Merry Christmas. What you want? Piano? Well, you know what? You kind of have to have science to play the piano.
Is there interviews
Really? Okay. Y'all, Merry Christmas.
That is, change your orange and white.